Okay, so here we have the same poem that we used in the last lesson. So I'm not going to read the poem to you, but you can pause the frame and read it if you'd like. But we are going to continue. And we're going to talk about three different devices today, and then include stanza later on. The first one is alliteration. Alliteration is a device where the same consonant sound begins several words that appear close together in a work. And so you can see the examples of the TH sound down below in the first stanza of the poem. And then you can also see the H sound. Same consonant sound begins several words that appear close together in a work. So I have two different examples of alliteration there. These, think, though, and even though think is a little different, it's still the TH. And then the H sound, his, house, he, here. That's alliteration. Next is assonance. Two or more words close to one another repeat the same vowel sound, but start with different consonant sounds. And then in the example, you can see that long E sound in that third line. He will not see me. So different consonants start the words, but then they all have that long E sound. That's assonance. And then the last one is consonance, repetitive sounds produced by consonants within a sentence or phrase. And we have the repetition in quick succession, as in the words pitter patter. You have the repeated TT sound and then the sound at the end of the word. In the example, you can see the consonants with the repetitive sounds with a like a Z sound. Whose, woods, these, are, I think I know, his, house. That one's more of a s, but then you have is after it. So you have that repetition of that Z, that long Z sound within a sentence, not inside the word, but at least within the sentence. So consonants is the other one. Okay, so all four of these with stanza work to communicate several things in a poem. These things are done intentionally by poets. One thing that they can communicate is theme, and another one is mood, a feeling. And that one is really strong in this poem. Actually, both of those, theme and mood. So stanzas, alliteration, assonance, and consonance give a sense of measure, rhythm, song, and phrasing to the words, the thoughts, and the ideas, and that makes us feel a certain way. So we'll talk about rhythm later, but for now, notice how the sounds of alliteration, assonance, and consonance feel to you, and how the meanings of the words together with the sounds of them create a certain vibe for the reader, and how the stanzas help us to feel the message and understand the poem, similar to how one would tour rooms in a house and get a feeling of a home. I know, cool, right? So check out the explanation on the next slide that I have here to see some preliminary analysis about the poem's mood and theme. So you see on the right-hand side there, I talk about how in the beginning of the poem, you have these soft consonant sounds within lines and at the ends of words, whose, woods, these, right? And the sounds sort of have a duration to them that are held. And then you have the long E sound continuing throughout the poem, almost like an echo. And we know that this poet is, the narrator is quietly alone, and so the sound is echoing while he's there alone. And then we also have the gentle TH and H sounds. They're not k and ch, k, 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 t, t, t sounds. They're gentle and that are soft. And so even though that gentleness, we have this time that's sort of pulling this person along in the poem, that they have promises to keep and miles to go. Time is pulling them forward, but this moment is one to be noted. And it's beautiful, but there's the gentleness of time that keeps pulling us forward. So that's the practice that we're going to do and pay attention to and move forward with. Okay, thanks. Check for your assignment.